Good afternoon. This is Micah Mitchell with Madison County Weather Updates. Doing a quick update on the major, how this storm over the weekend is actually turning out now that the storm is being sampled. All the air masses are actually being sampled instead of just being theoretically run through a computer model. So, but even with that, there's still some differences, but it really looks like snow anywhere in the Great Lakes region is flat out going to bust. The pattern is faster than what the models thought it would be, and kind of faster even than I had it faster. I thought the cold air would get here by Sunday. I actually changed one forecast based on model data and then changed it back because it just the pattern's faster than what was modeled a few days ago. So what's happening is the cold air is going to get here quickly, but the storms are also going to get here quickly. So what's going to happen is right now the loop you're seeing is from the European, and I'll explain what's going on with that, and then I'll show you the NAM, which is higher resolution. But the first low is going to outrun the cold. Then the cold is going to outrun the second low. So we're basically going to end up in that magic window that we always end up in, where, heck, it's possible by the NAM we might not even really get much in the way of rain on Saturday. But what we're seeing here with the European, I mentioned in a video a couple days ago that I thought that the models were overdone when they were bringing in these low pressures with a center pressure at 986 or 990. We really haven't seen low pressures that deep in our region since the 2013-14 winter that was so big, and we had a lot of deep lows that year. But in general, our lows are usually running 1,000 millibars or higher, and so the models have shifted from the super deep, from the 96 millibar lows up to 1,000 to 1,004 millibars, which is a little more what's to be expected. So that one stops. The stronger the low pressure is, the more it wants to turn and head poleward. It wants to head harder north. The deeper the low pressure is, it'll dig deeper to the south, and then we'll come up a lot steeper toward the poles. The weaker it is, the more it will want to run more from a southwest to northeast, which is kind of a more typical pattern. And that's kind of what the data is picking up on as going on now. So here on the European, you can see the Euro. This is getting into Saturday. You can see there's still some decent heavy rain moving through eastern Indiana. Let me zoom us in a little bit when it restarts. And here we are getting into Saturday here. And you can see it still has some decent heavy rain and then the cold air moving in. But there's very little in the way of any kind of snowfall showing up anywhere. Even once this gets well out to the east, just almost nothing in the way of snowfall. So we'll take a look here. Here's the NAM, and it starts over here, and you can see as we're going through Saturday, it's got almost nothing. It blows most of it up over into Ohio, and then the snow blows up over into Ohio and moves into western Pennsylvania. So, and it's doing that largely on the strength of the second low that would come through, which the NAM still has at below 1,000 millibars. I still think it might be too deep. It drops it below 1,000 once it gets up into Pennsylvania. But the thing that you notice here, though, is in our area, of course I've got that set on white. Let's change this. In our area here, got a little bit of rain to our southeast, but really nothing here Saturday or Sunday, according to the NAM. So there's still some things to iron out, but snow is not going to happen. That's become quite clear. It's not going to happen for us. It may not happen even out east. We'll see how that all plays out. It's really not surprising this time of year. We're in El Nino, which is not the king, but it is affecting our drivers. We have a split flow. The polar jet and the southern jet don't really phase up well, so you have to be dependent on a storm riding either one of those jets to be strong enough to pull the cold air down itself. And when you start getting 1,000 millibar or above, the higher that number is, the weaker the low pressure is. The lower the number is, the deeper the low pressure is. And we really, this time of year especially, in order to tap into that cold, we need a storm that is actually, around 990 millibars or lower in order to tap into the cold for a decent snow here. We can still get snow from clippers, but even that we saw the other day is kind of questionable. So I don't want to blab on too much more, but just to say that we'll still watch and see how Saturday pans out. But it may turn out, according to the NAM is a higher resolution model. It says we're going to get almost nothing in the way of rain even on Saturday and nothing on Sunday. The Canadian is a higher resolution model. It still gives us rain on Saturday, but it also does not have anything in the way of snowfall. So we'll see how that all goes, but I just wanted to give you this update. So this is Micah Mitchell with Madison County Weather Updates. You have a great day.